Hi, it's Matt in the kitchen here today with the pressure cooker. Today I'm going to make meatballs, but rather than frozen meatballs, which are great because it's a nice quick meal, I'm going to do them from scratch. So I've got about a pound of ground meat. Today I'm actually going to do pork meatballs, which are actually quite nice in a lot of dishes because of the slightly different flavor. I'm going to do them wheat-free, so I'm going to use about a quarter cup of oats, just normal gluten-free oats. And I'll go and I'll just quickly chop those up. Oh. You can use a food processor. I just use my blender. You can see I've got a nice, somewhat coarse grind to the oats there. Oh, I made a nice big mess. So I've got my oats. Now I'm going to add all the spicing. And I like to be generous with spicing. I think you should be too. Put a lot of spice in there, and your meatballs will turn out a little bit better. So I used my mini chopper and minced up about a quarter cup of parsley. You can use dried parsley, but really, if it's possible, fresh spices are just so much nicer. So there I go. There's my quarter cup of minced parsley. Medium onion. Got that all minced up nicely. Just gonna squish this down a little bit. Third of a cup of Parmesan cheese, which will give it a little bit more flavor. Add some more spices. Some paprika, about a quarter teaspoon. A little bit of black pepper. Some salt, about 2 teaspoons of pepper, or half a teaspoon of pepper. 1 or 2 teaspoons of salt. Some oregano or Italian seasoning, about 2 teaspoons of that. Half a teaspoon or so of red pepper flakes, and then 2 cloves of minced garlic, which for me means a lot of minced garlic, because I like minced garlic. Then a little bit of tomato paste in it, which will just bring a little bit more flavor. So about 2 tablespoons. There we go. So I've got my meal. Now I'm going to have to mix it up and then form it into balls. Before I do that, I'm just going to... got my sauce. I'm just going to put a little layer of sauce in the bottom. So you can use more sauce or less sauce depending on if you're using it to mix with spaghetti or your pasta, or if you're just going to use it as an appetizer meal. A lot of people like meatballs at potlucks, so you could always use these meatballs. So I'm just going to mix it. You can try to mix it with spoons, but honestly, get right in there with your hands. Mix it up, punch it around. Works a lot better. It'll be a lot faster. If you have a big heavy stand mixer like a KitchenAid, you could try using that, but I don't know, you might overprocess it a little bit. Really, get your hands in there, you're going to have to form the balls anyway. Trying to do that with forks, with a pair of spoons, it's not my thing. So I'm just going to make sure I get this all mixed in there nicely. So one of the things that makes this gluten-free or wheat-free is that I'm using oats instead of breadcrumbs. A lot of people say to use breadcrumbs. Even if you don't have restrictions or anything wrong with using wheat, try using oats. I think they work a lot better. So I'm just going to mix it around. It's mixed quite nicely. Let's make sure I don't have any dry patches or any of my oats there. You can see that. It's mixed up quite good. Nice big chunk of meatball meat there. So recipes, a lot of them say to make about 2-inch balls. 2 inches is actually a bit smaller than you think. That's actually probably pretty close to 2 inches. I'm going to make a few that are really small because I have small kids and I always end up chopping the meatballs into little pieces anyway. So I want to make some rather small ones, mostly for them. But the 2-inch size is good, you know, 1 inch or so, probably a little bit better. Some people like monster ones, especially for some of the potlucks. I like to have bite-sized ones because, well, I like to throw the whole thing in my mouth and just chew it quickly. So I've got my little balls, my little meatballs here. You see how everything's nicely mixed, so there's an even, somewhat even distribution. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you know, you don't want one that's all onion and one that's all parsley. That'll just taste weird. So there I've got my meatballs, a lot of different sizes, smaller ones for the kids, larger ones for me. And I'm just going to go gently lay them one layer in the bottom of the pressure cooker. Now because you are handling all this raw meat, anything you touch you're going to want to go and make sure you're washing your hands afterwards. So I've got my first layer. I'm just going to add a little bit of sauce just to separate them a little bit. I don't want it turning into one big lump. There we go, there we go. Now, so, just so you can see what that looks like. Nice layer, bunch of meatballs, covered in sauce. Looks really, really good. Alright, there we go. Now, I will wash this afterwards because I did touch it with the raw meat. Just going to put this in. Now this is pretty nice. They only take 5 minutes to cook, but I am going to do a 10-minute natural release at the end. So really it's about 15 minutes total time. So we'll be back soon for the reveal. Okay, pressure's been released. Let's see what we got. They smell wonderful. Let me just grab a few. Alright. Oh. Let me see if I can get one of those bigger ones out of there. There they go, all nicely bathed in the sauce. Put that over here. There we go. Our nice big meatballs here. So they smell wonderful. I'd serve these up at a potluck and let people enjoy them. Obviously, you can try different types of sauces and things. So really good, quick, easy meal. I think I'm actually going to have these ones with some pasta on a few nights. They're really fast and easy to make, and they taste just wonderful. The flavor in them is just great to have all that spicing in there. So if you like this video, you know, try it out. Leave a comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to see some of the other things I have. Check out some of the other videos. I've got a lot of ideas there. If you want to see something else or you have questions about stuff, you know, send me an email, leave comments, and I'll try to help you out. That's all for now. Bye.